good evening and welcome to the 30th of December. I've just done something that I laughed about when a bloke who I follow on TikTok, he came on, he said, I'm so annoyed with myself. I've sat here, I've done all this and I forgot to push record. And I just did the same. I had it set on photo and I only realised when my screen went dim that I hadn't actually recorded a bloody word. So anyway, here we are, retired in Spain. Welcome to the 30th of December, day 30, Vlogmas. And New Year's Eve is almost upon us. So I was just going to say something about New Year's Eve, but it's that lull in between Christmas, isn't it, and the New Year. And I've just watched Lawrence of Arabia. I thought I'd put it on, you know, one of those Sunday afternoon movies. God, it's nearly 4 hours. You can't believe it, nearly 4 hours long. And it's that long, it has an intermission. Honestly, as an intermission. So any of you younger people who have been to the pictures and never known of an intermission, it used to happen all the time. Mainly because we had maybe more than one film on when we used to go, back in the old days, you know what I mean? And halfway through the programme, you'd have the lady come down the stairs with a little tray around her neck, you know, with ice creams in the little tubs with the wooden spoons. And then a few years after that, when they did away with her, what they would do, they would have this advert come up on the screen. Do you remember the music? Like, that music. And then it'd go, time for a hot dog. And they'd whirl a picture around of a hot dog on the screen. You think, oh, yeah, do with hot dog, with onions. So you go out and get one of those. But I have heard that if you go to the pictures now and you pop out to get something, you come back without a £20 note, because that's how much everything seems to cost. But anyway, that's aside. Lawrence of Arabia, good film. I thought I might learn something about the Arab states if I watched it again, but I didn't really. Anyway, so New Year's Eve in Spain. They got a couple of customs here. One is red underwear. Not for any sexy reason, not for sexy time, no. It's for... it's to bring you a year of good fortune. And it's men and women. They all wear it, red underwear. I've got mine. I got mine on the cheap. You know when you go to Marks and Spencer's in the sales, when they've had a sale on and they're getting rid of all the stuff that's either kind of out of season or whatever. Well, if you go after Valentine's Day, you can pick up like red underpants with hearts on it. You know, but half price. Well, pants are pants, aren't they? I mean, who really gives a shit what colour they are? I'll wear them all year. But yeah, so like red pants with hearts on after Valentine's Day, half price. So you get in there, get those. Anyway, so I've got red pants with love hearts on them. Again, it's just, you wear them on New Year's Eve. It's tradition to bring you good fortune over the year. Also, the other thing that they do is we either meet up at home around the family table or in the town square. That's always a good one. And what they do, they all loiter around and everyone's got with them their grapes. They either come in little tins like this. We get 12 grapes in a tin, or they come in a little tray. You can buy them, or you just buy a bag of grapes if you want. The reason we buy them like this, because they're kind of already skinned, if you like, is so you can get them down quicker. Because the tradition is you have to eat one on every chime of the bell or the clock. So, you know, once it starts and it strikes midnight at 1, you know, then 2, then 3, and on each of those chimes you have to whop a grape in. So if you're not quick, so if you've got to deal with a big grape, or a grape with a seed in it, or a grape with a lot of skin on it, it's not easy to get 12 down in the space of those 12 chimes. So a lot of people buy them already prepared, as we do, like this, and also maybe a bottle of Cava. So the last time we were in a big square was, I think it was in Nerja. We were in Nerja, at the Balcón de Europa. I don't know if any of you have ever been there, but anyway, we were there, and again, really interesting. All the street sellers were selling grapes. They were selling large bottles of cava to people, and kids had fireworks. Not huge rockets and stuff, just little banger cracker things, but they're just lighting them on the floor, just dropping them on the floor, and they're just going off near your ankles. You think, good God, that nearly got me, that kid, but they do it, you know, and that's just the way of the world. So if you don't like little bangers and you don't like kids, you don't like grapes, you don't like cava, then don't go for, oh, and if you haven't got any red underwear, don't do a Spanish New Year's Eve celebration. Anyway, these grapes have got a bit of a meaning. Each one represents a month of the coming year. So each one, as I say, has got a meaning. I'm just going to strike it up actually on my iPad because I need to read it because I can't necessarily remember them all. So in January, as soon as you pop the first one, it's about health and fresh starts. And health, honestly, it's so important to us. I can't stress it enough, you know, health. I mean, over our lifetimes, now obviously being of a certain age, you know, 42, looking back with wisdom, you know, we do tend to abuse our bodies a bit, and we take things for granted, and really we shouldn't, because it's a terrible thing when you're ill, when you're hospitalised. So actually, you know, thinking about it, right, okay, I'm going to look after my health a bit more this year, even if it means a visit to the doctors for a check or something, you know, a blood test for prostate, or a blood test for sugar, or anything, just a positive step towards looking after your health may make a significant difference to your future. So number one, a grape, is for January, and it's for health and fresh starts, you know, a line in the sand. Let's move forward. February, love and friendships. I don't mean 872 friends on Facebook. I mean like real friendships, you know, people that you can go round, have a cup of tea with, have a good chat, put the world to rights, but also someone who, when they're in need, you're prepared to help. They're not a burden, you know, he ain't heavy, he's my brother kind of thing, that attitude. So that's in February. March is for work and motivation. Well, luckily I haven't got any work to do, so my motivation these days is different things. I'm motivated by different things. There's lots of stuff I want to do, lots of things I want to see, lots of things I want to experience, and that really is my motivation. So as long as I've still got my health and everything, and I can do that. April, this is very good. This is about happiness and balance. Happiness and balance. So many people you see are unhappy, and a lot of the time it's because they have no balance in their life. They're always wanting something, but of course they're always giving something else up to achieve what they want. Like people who want to become, you know, the head of the company, they sacrifice stuff to get that, and that means the world to them, but they've got nothing else in their life at the same time, because they've given so much up in order to achieve that goal of being the boss or the owner or whatever it is. If that's what they've focused on solely, then that's where it is. There's no balance in their life. They really are missing out on stuff. So I do believe that happiness comes with balance when you have a good mixture and everything is balanced. Because if you take one thing away, I mean, if you just imagine like a large dinner plate with a selection of different elements, your protein, your vegetables, this kind of thing, your carbohydrates, everything's balanced on the plate. If you take one element away, it's not a big issue, is it? Because it still remains pretty well balanced. But if your whole meal was like a great big 16-ounce steak, with very little else on the plate and you took it away, the balance of your plate would be completely wrong. So it's kind of like, you know, getting a balance in your life is really important. And happiness, I do think you can actually plan for happiness. I really do. It's a definite possibility. In fact, a few years ago, I came across something called the Happiness Planner, and you can actually kind of plan for happiness, which is, I believe, it's feasible. You know, so that's that one. Then, so I'm reading this now. May, adventure and opportunities. Okay, so when you pop in the fifth grape, that's all about adventure and opportunities. You can't beat a good adventure. And when opportunities come up, should we be scared of them? Should we be cautious of them? I think we should always assess the risk, but if we don't grasp opportunities when they come up, they may never come round again. So it's something that we should always think about. June, family and togetherness. So obviously family is important, and when you've lost most of them, at one end, you know, when your parents go and this kind of thing, it's nice to know that you still have other family around, even though the family can sometimes break up a bit, like when your grandparents die, for example. Your mum then kind of loses touch with her sister, for example, just mainly because that linchpin of a grandparent has gone. So I think it's really important to try and maintain as much as you can, as much contact as you can within the family, and not let it all kind of disperse. So and that's in June. July, fun and freedom. Kind of fits in with the holiday spirit, doesn't it, really? Fun and freedom. I try and have fun all the time, though. I really do. I think a day without a bit of fun, you know, that's cool, man. That's not great, is it? So enjoy yourself, have fun and freedom. That's that great. Then you got August. Well, again, pretty obvious here. Travel and memories. Of course, it's holiday season. You do a bit of travelling. You got a few memories, and that really is the thing. Is making memories, not just taking pictures and collecting pictures. I remember once when I was away, and all these Japanese tourists came to this event, and all they did was they held up iPads and phones, took pictures, and then left, without actually taking in the experience. So I've actually got a double the experience. I've got an experience of the actual event and the experience of all these Japanese people just coming along, taking a picture and going. And I think it's really important. I don't know if any of you watched Death in Paradise, but we were in the Caribbean and we went to Guadeloupe where they do the filming for that. And we've been on the beach where the hut is. It's not there all the time. They only put the hut up when they're making the programme. But the rest is there. All the police station, honorary police station, that's there. And we did that and we visited that. And then every time the programme comes on the TV now, you know, Death in Paradise, we go, oh, sorry, I nearly dropped you. We always go, oh, we've been there. But it's great. It's really good. And for those of you who don't know, the cell area, right, the bars, they're wood, made of wood. Just, you know, there you go. Random fact for you. Making memories, yeah, really important. So, again, if you can do a bit of that, that's great. September, learning and growth. Well, it's perfect for going back to school time, isn't it, really? Learning and growth. We're always trying to learn here, learning Spanish. God, man, trying to learn a language at this age, my brain doesn't work like it did when I was young. Mind you, I was shit at French at school anyway. But all I can remember from French is this teacher we had. His name was Mr. Frenou. And he loved talking about politics. So if you could get him on politics, you wouldn't have to learn French, because he'd rabbit on for 40 minutes about, you know, either spoiling your ballot paper or something. He was really passionate about politics. And And the only other good thing he ever said to me about my French skills was I've got a good accent. I didn't know any words, but I had a good accent. You know? So, yeah, learning and growth. Of course, living in Spain, it is important to learn Spanish. It really is, but so many people don't, or they start to learn and they give up rapidly. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's like if I go into a shop in Spain, if I make the effort to speak Spanish, they're very helpful and they speak back to me very slowly. And if I really can't understand, they'll either word it in another way or they'll attempt to help either by speaking a little bit of English themselves that they know, or by going to the bother of using Google Translate or something. But if you go in all very arrogant, you know, like anyone speak English in here, then you can expect no, and that's about it. So it's really important to try and learn, to try and grow, and do those things, and especially when you're living in a foreign country, because I can just hear now all those people that I left behind, all talking about immigration in the UK. Well, they can't even speak our language. Well, there's a lot of English people come here who can't speak this language either. October is stability and security. So again, you know, going back to our balanced tray of stuff, it's always good to have on that tray a bit of financial. You know, what we have is like love and friendships, we have social, we have financial, we have all these different things in our circle of life, our balanced tray, and it's always good to try and get that in there. So yeah, always worth looking at stability and security for sure. November 1 is gratitude and reflection. Well, I actually practice this every day because every morning I wake up and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything, man. You know, I'm grateful that when I plugged my phone in yesterday, today I got the opportunity to use the charge I put in it. You know, I'm not dead. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for where I live. Every day I take nothing for granted at all. And I'm grateful for my health, you know, as well. So that's really good. And then obviously in December, last grape, if you're not choking at this point, you know, and trying to wash it down with Carver, you haven't done it right. So basically, when we put that last grape in December, it's for joy and celebration. And of course, it fits in well with the season. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what race you are. We all have these different celebrations. Christmas usually comes, it's fairly universal, isn't it, really, because it marks the end of the year. So whether it's just a holiday for you, a religious holiday, whether it's, I don't know, a Thanksgiving type holiday, whatever it is, we all kind of have them, and everyone should enjoy that. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean you've got to go and mix with loads of people or something. You just enjoy it in your own way, enjoy the time, you know, to rest, recuperate, you know, do some of the things that we've spoken about here, you know, gratitude and run over memories or stuff like that. So yeah, that's the 12 grape thing that we do here. I do like doing it outdoors in the square, actually, because it's like everyone's wrapped up and they're all nice and warm and everyone's getting excited about it. And as soon as the chimes go, you can look round and see everyone chucking grapes down their neck, which is like it's all good fun. And after that, then in Spain, it moves on to more of Christmas. And we have the Three Kings, etc., on the 6th of January. But anyway, that's in the future. I'm going to wrap it up tonight because I think I've been going on a bit, actually. Oh, I have 19 minutes about eating 12 grapes and wearing red knickers. So I shall see you tomorrow. And that'll be New Year's Eve. But you'll know what we'll all be doing here. So when I'm on tomorrow, you'll know I'll have my red pants on, my bargain, Marks and Spencer's. Get them after Valentine's Day. You know it makes sense. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now. Bye, bye.